Charlie's Angels, 1976. Cast then and now, 2024. You won't believe their transformations. When you think of the legendary series Charlie's Angels, it's impossible to forget the dazzling trio, Sabrina, Jill, and Kelly. These remarkable women weren't just television stars. They were cultural icons, captivating audiences with their beauty, charm, and undeniable talent. They turned the show into one of the most celebrated hits of the 1970s, earning prestigious honors like the People's Choice Awards and receiving nominations at the Golden Globe Awards and Emmy Awards. But beyond the glamour and fame, their personal lives were filled with shocking twists, scandals, and struggles that few could have predicted. Time has transformed these beloved faces in ways that will leave you speechless. Julie Rogers, a life of solitude and silent battles. Julie Rogers, played by the stunning Tanya Roberts, was a breath of fresh air in the final season of Charlie's Angels. Joining the show in 1980, when its once soaring popularity had begun to decline, Tanya captivated audiences with her striking beauty, flowing hair, and magnetic presence. Though her time on the series was brief, she brought strength and grace to the role, earning her place among the beloved angels. Fans were drawn to her charm, and for a fleeting moment, it seemed like Hollywood had found its next great star. But fame, as Tanya soon learned, is often fleeting. When Charlie's Angels came to an end, she struggled to maintain her momentum. While she landed roles in action and science fiction films, none could match the success of her angel days. She graced the big screen in several projects, but most were forgettable, failing to leave a lasting impact. With each passing year, Tanya found herself slipping further into the shadows of Hollywood, her once bright future dimming before her eyes. Her personal life was no less turbulent. Though adored for her beauty and grace, Tanya's love life was filled with heartache. Her first marriage in 1974 ended in divorce, and while she later found happiness with actor Barry Roberts, his passing in 2006 left her utterly devastated. Losing the man who had been her anchor sent her into a deep emotional spiral, isolating her from the world she once thrived in. As the years went on, Tanya's struggles grew more visible. She became a familiar face in Hollywood's nightlife, attending wild parties and surrounding herself with all the wrong influences. Though she once exuded elegance and confidence, whispers of her excessive drinking and reckless behavior painted a very different picture. She drifted through a world of fleeting relationships and empty encounters, searching for something she could never quite grasp. Beyond her emotional battles, Tanya's health also took a downward turn. She fought against both physical ailments and declining self-esteem. But no matter how hard she tried, the industry that once embraced her had moved on. Efforts to revive her acting career were met with little interest, and each rejection pushed her deeper into isolation. Depression and anxiety became her constant companions, leaving her feeling abandoned by the very world that once adored her. The vibrant, sharp-eyed woman who once lit up television screens slowly faded from public memory. Time etched deep lines across her once flawless face, and the slender figure of her youth grew frail with age. Though she had been a symbol of beauty and strength in her prime, in her later years, Tanya lived far from the spotlight, rarely making public appearances. The character of Julie Rogers remained only a distant memory for fans, while the actress herself battled the harsh realities of growing older in Hollywood. Her final years were marked by hardship. Struggling with health issues, including diabetes and heart conditions, Tanya lived a quiet, reclusive life, far removed from the glitz and glamour of her past. Financial troubles loomed over her, and the security she once hoped her career would provide never materialized. Then, in January 2021, at just 65 years old, Tanya Roberts passed away unexpectedly. Chris Monroe, the hidden struggles behind an angel's glow. Following the heartbreaking journey of Kate Jackson, another Charlie's Angels star whose story has stunned fans after 4 decades, is Cheryl Ladd. the actress who brought Chris Monroe to life. In 1977, Cheryl Ladd stepped into the spotlight, replacing Farrah Fawcett and instantly winning over audiences with her vibrant energy and radiant beauty. With her dazzling smile, golden locks, and fearless spirit, Chris Monroe embodied confidence, standing up for justice with charm and grace. Cheryl quickly became a fan favorite, cementing her place as a television icon of the late 1970s. But what seemed like a dream career on screen masked the reality that awaited her once the cameras stopped rolling. When Charlie's Angels ended in 1981, Cheryl faced a harsh truth: her career had peaked. Though she continued acting in film and television, none of her later roles captured the magic of her Angels days. The once rising star found herself struggling to maintain the same level of success, watching as Hollywood moved on without her. Her personal life was just as turbulent. In 1973, she married musician David Ladd, and for a time, they shared moments of happiness. But as the years passed, cracks formed in their relationship, and by the 1980s, their marriage came to an end. The painful divorce left Cheryl shattered, forcing her to confront deep loneliness and emotional turmoil. With her career in decline and her personal life unraveling, she found herself battling inner demons. By the 1990s, Cheryl entered a darker chapter, filling the void with wild parties and reckless behavior. Surrounded by the wrong influences and searching for an escape, she drifted further from the promising future she once envisioned. As she struggled to reclaim her footing, despair took hold, leaving her lost in a world that no longer felt like her own. Over the years, Cheryl faced not only emotional struggles, but physical health issues as well. Depression and anxiety became constant battles, and the toll of sleepless nights was evident. While she never regained the star power she once held, she continued working in television movies and found solace in charitable work, striving to bring positivity into her life. Yet, despite these efforts, rebuilding her image proved to be an uphill battle. Now in her 70s, Cheryl Ladd is no longer the youthful, glowing star audiences once adored. Though she has aged gracefully, time has left its mark, wrinkles and exhaustion replacing the youthful radiance that once defined her. The years of struggle, heartbreak, and personal challenges have taken their toll, dimming the vibrant energy she once exuded. Still, Cheryl has not let life's hardships break her spirit. Today, she devotes herself to charitable causes, cherishes time with loved ones, and has found a sense of inner peace after years of emotional battles. Yet, the echoes of her past remain, a reminder of the highs and lows she has endured. From career setbacks to personal heartbreak, Cheryl Ladd continues to navigate life's challenges with quiet resilience. Julie Rogers, a life of solitude and silent battles. Julie Rogers, played by the stunning Tanya Roberts, was a breath of fresh air in the final season of Charlie's Angels. Joining the show in 1980, when its once soaring popularity had begun to decline, Tanya captivated audiences with her striking beauty, flowing hair, and magnetic presence. Though her time on the series was brief, she brought strength and grace to the role, earning her place among the beloved angels. Fans were drawn to her charm, and for a fleeting moment, it seemed like Hollywood had found its next great star. But fame, as Tanya soon learned, is often fleeting. When Charlie's Angels came to an end, she struggled to maintain her momentum. While she landed roles in action and science fiction films, none could match the success of her Angel days. She graced the big screen in several projects, but most were forgettable, failing to leave a lasting impact. With each passing year, Tanya found herself slipping further into the shadows of Hollywood, her once bright future dimming before her eyes. Her personal life was no less turbulent. Though adored for her beauty and grace, Tanya's love life was filled with heartache. Her first marriage in 1974 ended in divorce, and while she later found happiness with actor Barry Roberts, his passing in 2006 left her utterly devastated. Losing the man who had been her anchor sent her into a deep emotional spiral, isolating her from the world she once thrived in. As the years went on, Tanya's struggles grew more visible. She became a familiar face in Hollywood's nightlife, attending wild parties and surrounding herself with all the wrong influences. Though she once exuded elegance and confidence, whispers of her excessive drinking and reckless behavior painted a very different picture. She drifted through a world of fleeting relationships and empty encounters, searching for something she could never quite grasp. Beyond her emotional battles, Tanya's health also took a downward turn. She fought against both physical ailments and declining self-esteem. But no matter how hard she tried, the industry that once embraced her had moved on. Efforts to revive her acting career were met with little interest, and each rejection pushed her deeper into isolation. Depression and anxiety became her constant companions, leaving her feeling abandoned by the very world that once adored her. The vibrant, sharp-eyed woman who once lit up television screens slowly faded from public memory. Time etched deep lines across her once flawless face, and the slender figure of her youth grew frail with age. Though she had been a symbol of beauty and strength in her prime, in her later years, Tanya lived far from the spotlight, rarely making public appearances. The character of Julie Rogers remained only a distant memory for fans, while the actress herself battled the harsh realities of growing older in Hollywood. John Bosley, the unsung hero, and his forgotten journey. When reminiscing about Charlie's Angels, it's impossible to ignore John Bosley, the ever-dependable character played by David Doyle. As the Angels' trusted ally, Bosley was more than just a sidekick. He was their guide, protector, and friend, always offering wisdom and unwavering support. His presence grounded the team, adding heart and humor to the show. But while his character thrived on screen, the years following Charlie's Angels were not as kind to David Doyle, and his life took turns that many fans never knew. By the time Charlie's Angels debuted in 1976, David Doyle was already a seasoned performer with years of experience in the entertainment industry. Playing Bosley throughout all 5 seasons, he became a comforting and familiar face to viewers. His warm demeanor and effortless charm helped elevate the show beyond a simple crime drama, making Charlie's Angels a defining television hit of the 1970s. As Bosley, the ever-loyal guardian of the Angels, David Doyle carved out a special place in the hearts of fans, becoming an icon in his own right. However, when the series ended in 1981, David Doyle's career took a difficult turn. While his co-stars continued to find new opportunities, David struggled to secure major roles. Unlike the glamorous Angels, Bosley had been a supporting character, and Hollywood often overlooked him for leading parts. Though he made occasional appearances in television and film, he was no longer in demand as he once was. As the years passed, his on-screen presence gradually faded, and his career drifted into the shadows. Away from the spotlight, David faced personal challenges as well. His marriage ended in divorce, and though he kept much of his private life away from the media, it was clear that he carried his share of heartbreak. The dwindling job offers and changes in his personal life weighed on him, and the man who once brought warmth and laughter to Charlie's Angels found himself confronting his own struggles in silence. As time marched on, aging took its toll. The once vibrant and energetic actor now appeared weary, and his declining health became increasingly apparent. His days in the limelight grew fewer, and he eventually stepped away from the public eye. The industry he had once been a part of moved forward without him, leaving him a fading memory for all but his most devoted fans. In his later years, David Doyle faced his toughest battle yet: cancer. Though he fought with remarkable strength, the illness gradually weakened him. On February 26, 1997, he passed away at the age of 67 in Los Angeles, California. His death marked the end of an era, leaving fans mourning the loss of the man who had been the Angels' ever-loyal companion. Sabrina Duncan, from trailblazing icon to heartbreaking struggles. Sabrina Duncan, a name once linked to intelligence, confidence, and fearless independence, stood as a beacon of empowerment in Charlie's Angels in 1976. Brought to life by the talented Kate Jackson, she inspired a generation of young women who saw her as a symbol of strength in a glamorous, action-packed world. But what happened to Sabrina Duncan after her time in the spotlight? Where does this once revered star stand in 2024? Following the dazzling success of Charlie's Angels, Kate Jackson's life took an unexpected and difficult turn. While the show cemented her place in television history, her career soon faced a downward spiral. Unlike her co-stars Farrah Fawcett and Jaclyn Smith, who continued to shine in Hollywood, Kate struggled to secure roles that matched her talent. And unfortunately, this was only the beginning of her hardships. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, whispers of personal turmoil, failed relationships, and questionable choices began to overshadow her achievements, slowly chipping away at her public image. But the struggles didn't stop there. Kate found herself drawn into a fast-paced lifestyle filled with lavish parties and reckless decisions. While fans still admired her from afar, few knew the private battles she faced: loneliness, heartbreak, and a growing sense of isolation. Behind the dazzling red carpet appearances was a woman wrestling with deep emotional turmoil, and the Hollywood spotlight only made her pain more difficult to escape. Even in the face of adversity, Kate never surrendered. But just as she sought to rebuild her life in the mid-1990s, she was met with yet another devastating challenge: a breast cancer diagnosis. This life-altering moment forced her to step away from acting and focus entirely on her fight for survival. It was an uphill battle, testing her strength in ways far beyond the roles she once played on screen. Yet, despite the overwhelming hardships, she clung to hope and resilience. Now, at 74, the Sabrina Duncan that fans once adored feels like a distant memory. Though Kate Jackson triumphed over cancer, she never fully reclaimed her place in Hollywood. Time and personal struggles have left their mark, both on her spirit and in the eyes of the public. Farrah Fawcett, a star's triumphs and tragedies. When people think of Charlie's Angels, Farrah Fawcett's portrayal of Jill Monroe remains one of the most unforgettable images of the era. In 1976, at just 29 years old, she was already a rising star, with her signature feathered blonde hair and dazzling smile captivating millions. Almost overnight, she became a pop culture phenomenon, her beauty and charisma turning her into the ultimate media sensation of the 1970s. Fans adored her, and Hollywood couldn't get enough. She was everywhere, gracing magazine covers, television screens, and movie posters. But when Farrah made the shocking decision to leave Charlie's Angels in 1977, her life took a complicated turn. Though she found moderate success in acting, she struggled to find roles that matched the impact of Jill Monroe. Instead, her career became overshadowed by personal scandals and public scrutiny. Headlines focused less on her performances and more on the turbulence in her life. And as the years passed, the industry began to move on, leaving her in a constant battle to reclaim her former glory. Farrah's personal life was no less tumultuous. She was often in the spotlight for her passionate yet rocky relationship with actor Ryan O'Neal. Their love story, though captivating to the public, was marked by dramatic breakups and reconciliations, creating an emotional roller coaster that took a toll on her well-being. In her later years, Farrah faced her most devastating challenge: rectal cancer. The disease progressed quickly, and though she fought with remarkable strength, the battle was relentless. Her final days were filled with unimaginable pain, and on June 25, 2009, at the age of 62, she passed away, leaving the world mourning the loss of a true icon. For many, Farrah Fawcett was the embodiment of beauty, confidence, and independence, a symbol of an era defined by glamour and freedom. Mark Pinter, A Star's Rise and Unexpected Fall. While Charlie's Angels is best remembered for its dazzling trio of crime-fighting heroines, it also introduced audiences to other talented actors who played a role in the show's success, including Mark Pinter. When Mark joined Charlie's Angels in 1981, he quickly became a standout in the final season. At just 31, he had the looks, charisma, and natural talent that made him an instant favorite. With his striking features and effortless charm, he seemed destined for Hollywood greatness. But behind the scenes, his journey was far more turbulent than anyone realized. At the height of his early success, Mark appeared to be on the brink of stardom. He had fame, opportunity, and a promising future ahead. Yet, like so many before him, he became entangled in the temptations of Hollywood. Lavish parties, extravagant living, and troubled relationships slowly chipped away at his focus and ambition. The glamour of the industry concealed a dangerous undercurrent, and Mark, like many others, found himself swept away in a cycle of indulgence that left lasting scars. As his personal struggles mounted, so did his professional ones. Despite his popularity on Charlie's Angels, he found it increasingly difficult to secure meaningful roles. The industry was ruthless, and Mark soon found himself sidelined, watching opportunities slip away. With each passing year, the spotlight grew dimmer, and the promising career he once envisioned drifted further out of reach. The years took their toll. Once a rising star, Mark Pinter gradually faded from Hollywood's radar. Time etched its mark on his face, and the weight of past choices became harder to ignore. Though he never completely disappeared, he became a distant memory in the industry he once dreamed of conquering. While his journey may not have followed the path of superstardom, Mark Pinter remains a part of Charlie's Angels history, a name forever linked to a beloved era of television. Dan Haggerty, A Life of Triumph and Tragedy. Though Dan Haggerty made only a brief appearance in Charlie's Angels in 1981, his name was already well known to audiences. Long before that, he had won hearts as Grizzly Adams, the rugged and kind-hearted mountain man in the beloved television series. With his commanding presence, thick beard, and outdoorsman charm, Dan became a symbol of strength and adventure, making him one of the most recognizable faces on TV during the 1970s and 80s. Yet, despite his early success, Dan's path was anything but easy. Even with major opportunities in Hollywood, he struggled to hold on to his fame. Personal demons, including battles with drug and alcohol addiction, cast a shadow over his career. The lure of Hollywood's fast-paced lifestyle, along with failed projects and missed chances, led to his slow decline. As time passed, Dan slipped further from the spotlight, his once thriving career reduced to fleeting memories of his former glory. But his greatest battles were yet to come. In his later years, Dan faced a heartbreaking fight against cancer. Even as his health deteriorated, he showed the same resilience that once made him a beloved figure on screen. He continued to fight, holding on to the spirit that had defined his career, but on January 15, 2016, at the age of 74, he lost his battle. Shelley Hack, a star that still shines among the many faces to grace Charlie's Angels, Shelley Hack remains one of the most unforgettable. In 1979, at the age of 32, Shelley stepped into the role of Julie Rogers, bringing an air of sophistication and charm that made her instantly stand out. With her elegant beauty and effortless grace, she captured the attention of audiences, becoming a striking addition to the beloved series. Though her time on the show was brief, she carved out her own place in the Charlie's Angels legacy, leaving behind a lasting impression. But life after Charlie's Angels wasn't easy. Shelley continued acting in films and television, yet the dazzling spotlight she once stood in began to dim. While she remained active in the industry, her later projects struggled to gain traction, and over time, her name slowly faded from Hollywood's ever-changing landscape. Beyond the ups and downs of her career, Shelley faced her share of personal challenges. However, she never allowed adversity to define her. With remarkable resilience, she navigated the trials of life, emerging with grace and dignity. Which of these angels left the deepest mark on you? Whose story touched your heart the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest content. Thank you for being part of this nostalgic journey with us.